I'm super excited about the content for today. So, we're talking about knowing your worth and charging accordingly. So, if you have ever been in the space of, oh, I don't know if I can charge that much, or oh, how much should I be charging? Or you see somebody charging a certain price and you think, darn it, I should be doing the same thing. I'm sure you probably have seen any number, and maybe experienced any number of those types of situations. So, when it comes to knowing your worth, I like to think about three things in particular. And this is what I categorize as my secret to getting at this. So, three things, three letters that I want you to think about. And if you don't have your pen and paper out, you'll want to do that. So, three letters that you want to think about: E, C, and C. So the first T stands for transformation. The second letter, C, stands for cost. And then that third C stands for confidence. Okay, T, C, and C. So that first T, transformation. So when you talk about, okay, I want to charge what I'm worth, and I should show up and charge what I'm worth, and what am I worth, and that type of thing. That first T, transformation, you've got to ask yourself, and you have to know very clearly, what's the transformation that I can help someone get through? What is that transformation? If I am charging my worth, what's the transformation? You've got to know that super clear. That second letter, so that C, cost. And this gets into a bit of sales as well. So the second C, cost, is you understanding, what does it cost your potential target audience? What does it cost them to stay where they are and not get to that transformation? So what does it cost them? And I'll go back and explain how these pieces fit together in a second. So now that last C, confidence, that one's pretty much about you. And that is your own confidence in your ability to deliver that transformation. Now, here's the reality. Someone could very well sell, even you, could very well sell an offering for $1,000, and you could very well sell that same offering, perhaps with a bit more value added into it, for $10,000. But the thing that has to be clear, and to get to those successful outcomes, is you've got to be able to help your prospect understand, here's the transformation, right? And I understand that transformation that you want to get to. For example, the clients that come into Finding Freedom, when it comes to the transformation, you've got to be able to understand and be able to articulate, okay, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, target client, dream client, as I like to say, I understand where you want to get to. I know it. I know the transformation that you need to go through. I understand the transformation that you want to get through. And then, of course, through your conversations with them and their understanding, this is why I say it gets into a bit of sales. You've got to be able to understand how much essentially it's worth to them. What's their cost of not going through this transformation? I'll take me as an example and what we do, the coaching and Finding Freedom. I understand that for a lot of you, the cost of inaction is perhaps stress, because you are frustrated the second you've been overlooked for the third, fourth, fifth time. You are stressed because you've got a boss that doesn't recognize your talent and you are just ready to break free. You may be frustrated because you don't get to spend enough time at home, and that turns into your children resenting you, or your husband wondering where you are or why you're so tired. All these things, that has a cost to it. And so I understand what that is for folks. I also understand the transformation. So the same thing has to be true for you. Got to understand the transformation. Got to understand what it costs. And again, a lot of that comes through conversation, that sales conversation. And then that the third C, confidence. So Whether you're charging $1,000 or $10,000, again, I do not want the point to be lost that the higher you go in price point, it's very important that you also deliver the value accordingly. Value does not always mean more things. Value can mean deeper transformation, right? How do you really help them get there and where they need to go? So I just want to make sure that's clear for everybody. But once you understand the transformation, you understand the cost, the confidence piece is a big piece of the pie. So if I know that it's going to cost someone $5,000 darn near every 2 weeks to deal with the pain of doing XYZ, how do I feel about the value of my transformation to their life? $5,000? $10,000? $20,000, if you think about it, their cost adds up over time for them to not be able to get the transformation they want to get. So when you start looking at their cost and you start looking at the investment to work with you and take you up on your offers, you start to be able to see, maybe this is a deal for my client. Maybe this is my potential client. Maybe this is exactly what they need, like at the right time to keep them from continuing to go down the road of pay more and pay more, the hidden cost that sometimes add up. So when you're talking about knowing your worth and charging accordingly, again, the secret is to have those 3 pieces in play and for you to extrapolate it. Know their transformation, understand their cost for not going through that transformation, have your own confidence in your ability to deliver that transformation, then start laying it out. So their cost is this. And if the pricing that I want to charge is XYZ, well, wow, if they work with me and they get through that transformation, that's a 3X, 5X, 10X, whatever it is, return for them. Because they no longer have to go through that cost that they're carrying around right now because they haven't got the transformation. So if you are with me and understand where I'm going and what that means and understands that T, C, and C, go ahead and just drop it in the chat. Understand, get it, I'm with you, anything like that. Because I want to make sure that you do understand that, because you become better once you can get more attuned to what people need, what transformation they need, what their cost is, what their problems are, that type of thing. Have you struggled with figuring out, well, what to charge? And am I charging enough? Am I charging too much? That type of thing. But one of the things that we do in Finding Freedom is we go deep on this, right? When we talk about transformations, that is at the heart of helping everybody that comes through the Finding Freedom Accelerator understand, first off, the impact that they want to make. Because if you right now are not in the process of raising up a business and a business offer that's rooted in the impact that you want to make and something that you have passion for, then I suggest that you go back and take a closer look. Because as you talk about full-time entrepreneurship, you are getting into a place where, yes, things will be glorious on some days. Things will be not so glorious on other days. And so when you talk about something that is meant to help you be in this life of freedom and this ease and the things that you see for yourself, you want something in your life, that business in your life that you are passionate about, that you can stay committed to as you go down the journey. Simone, do you have a specific example to apply the concept to? Yes, let's go with, I'm trying to think of a good one. So I have a lot of friends as well who are digital entrepreneurs, and they are in the fitness space. And so when you think about transformation, cost, and confidence, let's apply that. So when it comes to transformation, the transformations that people are after generally in that space, if it's not just to feel healthy, is generally some type of body goal, right? You see the befores, you see the afters, everybody wants the abs or whatever. They want to look good. And when it comes to that transformation, they understand that they want to go from the place of, oh, I don't feel great about myself. Maybe I'm down on my self-image. Maybe I am Maybe I am afraid to go and be intimate with my spouse with the lights on because I don't feel good about myself. So I want to go from a place of not feeling good, not feeling confident, to a place where I love the way I look when I get in the mirror and it makes me confident and uplifted, that type of thing. Okay. That's a transformation that they want to get through. Now, when it comes to the cost, what's their cost? So let's take a specific place of the person who is hesitant about being intimate with their spouse with the lights on, or allowing them to touch them in some way. The cost there could be, I may be headed down a path where my spouse starts looking elsewhere because I don't want to engage in the same way that he wants to engage. And if I go down that path, wow, that's got an emotional toll to it. Maybe I'm going to decide I need to start going to therapy. Maybe I'm going to need to end up going into some other type of, now I'm giving you extreme examples, some diabetes program because I'm overeating to feed my frustration and my depression about what's going on in my life. All those things have costs that add up to them. Now, when you come from the confidence perspective, so for the person that is that fitness coach, it's all about, do they believe that they can really help this person get from where they are to the place of having this amazing body, and not just having the amazing body. Remember, this person wanted the amazing body to ultimately get to this transformation where I feel comfortable in my skin and I'm excited to go out and I'm excited to be there with my spouse and do whatever and all this other stuff. Do they feel confident in their ability to deliver it? Because if you don't feel confident in your ability to deliver it, it may be like, oh, okay, all right, I can charge them maybe, I don't know, $200 and try to get them to a certain place because I'm not sure this is going to work. So let's just try it. Or if they really understand, they may say, hey, for $10,000, I can help this person get to the place where they stay in their marriage for the next whatever number of years, or they feel so happy and engaged in their family and being able to be active and move with their children, and in some cases even have children if they were afraid to ever be with their spouse, whatever it is. And if I was to say, hey, that's $10,000, and that essentially to this person is a lifetime transformation. You're talking about being able to be with the person that you love, to have children in the long term. That really gets into priceless situations. And when you say that, what's $10,000 in that grand scheme of things? I know that I can help them get there. So that's what I mean. I hope that helps you, Simone, and you can type back in the chat. But understanding very clearly transformation, their cost, and the confidence can allow you to say, okay, if I charge this, well, heck yeah, absolutely. You know, would I pay that to get to a place I want to get? And be careful about saying what you would pay and applying what you would pay. So I take some of that back because you really do have to be careful about that. But that allows you to look and say, okay, yeah, I think it makes sense. I get it. Like, yeah, what I am charging is absolutely worth it for that type of transformation and what it does for their life, and what happens if they don't allow me, if they don't enroll in this opportunity I have, what it costs them, that type of thing. So take this, go forward. And if this particular topic of how to know what to charge for your worth and all this other stuff, this is something that we do get into in the Finding Freedom Accelerator. If it's something that you're interested in, reach out and just message myself and we can talk through that. But I want you to hold on to this, TCNC, okay? Transformation, cost, confidence. All right, you all have a wonderful night and I'll talk to you again soon.